I've worked with Hilda a long time and seen her operate, and she has kind of an uncanny skill that most of us in the foundation business don't have. When a person comes in to see her about perhaps giving a gift, they leave, and not only do they probably give a bigger gift than they expected to give, but they feel like she's given them a gift too. She's just that kind of a personality. So she's the gift that keeps on giving, but there's a reason for that. Hilda was born and raised on Christmasville Road in Jackson, Tennessee, where the stars are bright, where the neighbors are generous, and the cotton is like snow.
It doesn't matter what time of the night you go by the community foundation, there's Hilda's car sitting there. You know she's in there working away. But you know, I've been around forever too with this, because I was here when Steve Alley was the first community foundation president, and then Ron Harper was next, and then Hilda came along. Of course, Hilda was along all those times. She just wasn't the president, and I thought she really should be the president, because she really has been doing so many things. So I think, you know, the last is best.
No question, I echo that. Hilda's been around 23 of our 25 or so years. I've been around about 20 of that, so I've got great exposure from her. Really learned a lot from her about charitable giving and donor relations. They don't make them any better than Hilda. You bring a donor in, and there's just instant credibility that she has, that she builds with. There's trust, things that are inherent with her, like trustworthiness, her dedication, which is demonstrated by the late nights, and her understanding of stewardship and the responsibility that has been entrusted with us at the foundation to make sure that the donors' wishes are complete. So I've enjoyed learning that from her and being a part of that with her.
I don't have the experience that the rest of you have. I'm a short-termer here at the Community Foundation, comparatively. One of my memories is when Ron Hopper retired and the search committee was looking for a new president for the Community Foundation. And things didn't go exactly the way we thought. We hit a couple of bumps in the road. And
I'm glad that was you, not me.
And the search committee actually invited Hilda to lunch. And I think we surprised her by asking her if she would like to throw her hat into the ring as president for the job of president of the Community Foundation. And we're very fortunate that she made the decision to step up and take on that role at that point in time. And as you all know, the Community Foundation has changed significantly over time. And each president has joined the foundation at a different point in its history. And I think when Hilda stepped up and was willing to take on that role as president of the foundation, it was a perfect time to have her on board.
My thoughts about Hilda also go back quite a ways. I was on the committee in Clinton County that founded our foundation that became a fund of the Howard County Foundation. And part and parcel of that was really getting to know Hilda. And I've thought about this, and I've thought about things to say, but Hilda is as common as an old shoe, but she is a beautiful, beautiful person who is bright far beyond my abilities. So it's such an interesting, not even a contrast really, but a cohesion between her ability to get along with, as far as I know, everybody, combined with her ability to get into pocketbooks. She's just such a kind-hearted person. I don't know of anybody that has ever said a bad word or a harsh word about her, and I just think the world of her. And my recollection is, I was not on the search committee, was that there were some interviews that were had, and possibly some good ones, but when it was all said and done, I think the search committee may have come back and said, Hilda, get serious, we want you to be our president. And she relented and became president, and good for all of us, good for all three counties. So I have nothing but great memories about Hilda.
Hilda, what a great honor it is to be able to sit here today and talk about you and share some of our thoughts and to tell you how appreciative we are of what you have done for the community by all the hard work you've done in the foundation. You have left a legacy that will long outlive all of us, and when it gets right down to it, you can't ask for more than that.
You know, I've often said about Hilda that she was the best hire I ever made, and I think that's borne out by what has happened over the last 20 or so years that she's been at the foundation. I think it's pretty amazing to see where it's come from, and I said this at the 25th anniversary, but she really is the foundation of this organization. Really built it from the ground up. She knows where kind of all the bodies are buried, I think, knows all the different places, everything that's been set up in the foundation she's had a hand in, and I think it's just incredible to see what has happened here over the time that she's been with the Community Foundation.
Okay, well, when I think about Hilda, I think about how easy she was to get to know when I first came on the Carroll County Board. May have been because we had grandkids the same age and we had kids both in medical school and things like that, but she was very easy to get to know, and every time I saw her, she asked me about my kids and asked me about my grandkids, and she was just an easy person to get to know. And when I think about interactions I've had with her, maybe they weren't with her, but some other folks who knew her, one of them was I called her right at the end of Gift 6 and said, hey, I know somebody who's sending a check in and it's going to be for this amount, and she was like, oh, you have just made my day. That I don't know if that put us over the edge or what, but she was just like, oh man, that was great. And then another thought I always have about her when I talk about Hilda is some of the folks in Carroll County who knew her from grant applications and scholarship applications and stuff. And when Ron was retiring and it was kind of in limbo who was going to be the next president, and it finally turned out that it was going to be Hilda, and I told this group of folks it's going to be Hilda Burns, and they were so excited. They said, what a great choice.
My story about Hilda is a little bit different. I first met Hilda when we were both employed at United Way, and I loved Hilda from the very beginning and loved her passion, her drive, her work ethic. And one of the things I'll always remember about Hilda, in 22 years at United Way, she was the only finance director that said she was ever bored. And bored at United Way in finance, but that's when we lost her, I think. She needed some more challenges. She needed to be busy. She needed to feel like what she was doing made a difference in the community, and that's also what I love about Hilda. We shared stories about being Western band parents and had kids about the same age, and watching her kids grow up and now grandkids. Good luck, Hilda.
Well, when I think about Hilda Burns, what it really does for me is brings out a different thought at Christmas time from the song about Grandma's run over by a reindeer. Because only Hilda can turn around and say that she's been run over by a John Deere. I don't know if you recall or not, but after a Carroll County meeting, she was on her way home, she and Lucinda, and it wasn't a tractor but a big sprayer came on and just ran right over the corner of their car. And she called me, and I end up being the taxi back to Kokomo. But that's one of the, I guess we can call it humorous at this point in time, but it could have been really devastating. But as far as Hilda as a person, one of the things I think of is what a dedicated individual. I don't know about you people, but I would get emails at strange hours of the night, and I'm thinking, don't you go home? Her dedication to the foundation is unparalleled and greatly appreciated.
One last thing. Thank you, Kevin, Lauren, Julie, and Eric for sharing your mother with us. truly, truly love her and appreciate her. And thank you very much for letting her be a part of our community for this last 23 years.
Hilda, thank you again for all you've done. Like I said, you will leave your legacy forever, and I know that you will handle retirement equally as well. You'll be dedicated to retirement, as dedicated to that as you've been dedicated to anything else that you've endeavored to do. And as a recent retiree myself, I know you'll surpass my level of retirement in no time flat. So thanks much for all your energy and all your compassion, and best wishes for the future.